Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is your boy, Joseph Stones. And this will be this week's edition of Movie Madness. And I brought somebody with me. And he's not just somebody. He's my heterosexual life mate, the Bonnie to my Clyde, the Robin to my Batman. Garrett Plunkett, everybody.
I'm here.
And I get it, like, on these shows, I host on this one, but did you really have to wear that goddamn shirt?
I did, and I would also like to point out that on Father's Day, your team tweeted that my quarterback is their daddy. I would like to point that out.
No, actually, your team tweeted it about my team.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But they know.
Well, I thought this might have been a ploy for you to just have a reason for me to ask you to take your shirt off.
No, but you know who else? You know who else? Who else's family represents the Bills? It would be our guest today. The man who has made our graphics.
Jim Kelly's here?
No. The man who made our graphics.
Oh, no.
He's been on the show before. You've seen him. You know him. You love him. You went to the wrong thing.
I did.
You went to all that build-up. All that build-up for nothing.
Take two. So the man who made our graphics, our theme song, and we're going to call him Scotty White.
There he is.
Scotty's back.
He's back. And if you need to know why he's back, okay, it's because...
He's going to take his shirt off?
Well, no, we're not that lucky.
Oh.
Okay, you and I are not that lucky of people, okay? But when I was texting Scott, because obviously Casey is, he is our third, okay?
He's our co-host.
Yes, Casey is our third.
We love you, Casey.
But we do have to get other people on here for other things, especially things that they want.
Like, especially people that mean something to us, people we love hanging out
with.
And especially if there's a genre.
And then speaking of meaning something, I was like, Scott, I've been making more lists. I just made the Adam Sandler list.
He's been checking them twice.
If you want to come on for the Sandler list. And I have never have I been able to tell someone's level of excitement through a text until Scott texted me back about wanting to come on to do the Adam Sandler list that we have today. Okay? He was so excited. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Let's look at this.
Okay?
Oof.
And he's like, when are we doing it? When? What's up? What's going on? When are we doing it? I'm like, oh, we'll do it.
Right now? We're going over there right now?
Yeah. Can we do it now? Well, let's go.
And then Garrett texts me. He's like, so Scott wants to do the Adam Sandler list. And I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. He's like, so we just got to find a way. Probably Wednesday we'll record it before we do WrestleFan. I'm like, all right, this Wednesday? And he's like, I mean, we can do it this Wednesday. Like, I'm off this Wednesday. I don't have to worry about getting hit for work at all. Like, I will have the monster. Logan, why don't you come over here and make a little guest spot? Come here. I got the kids. Just say hi quick.
Hola.
There he is. There he is.
The other one's playing.
He's only beaten me up once, but it's all good.
Yeah. It's not a live show, so it's not as bad. So before we get into everything Adam Sandler, there's a couple things, little bit of work we got to take care of. First, let's talk to our sponsors that everybody who watches Movie Madness and WrestleFan Radio know and love.
Okay. First off, if you need ink, if you need piercings, you're going to go to Rocking Horses Tattoo. And if you go there, you ask for Josh. And you tell Josh that we sent you. Okay?
Oh, and to take his shirt off.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why I'm
he'll definitely do it.
He will, absolutely.
He'll definitely do it.
I'm hoping
he'll do it and then ask why he had to do it.
Yeah, he might not even have to ask.
Yeah. Take it off then. All right, what now?
And then
because it's Josh. And then if you need shirts, hats, embroidering, anything, okay, you're going to go to Seasonal Sports, okay? And then now, okay, we're going to get the graphics up and everything soon, okay? We're going to be showing you this. You can see this right here, right? This is a bottle, there you go, okay?
Upgrade.
It's called Upgrade, okay? Now, I am not an energy drink person, Okay, I've tasted. I think I took one sip of a Red Bull one time, and it was Scott's, and I was like, "That's gross."
Was it mixed with vodka?
No, it was just regular Red
Probably
Bull.
shouldn't.
I've never even like drank a month because all that stuff gives me headaches, 5-hour energy. Even I'm just like, okay.
Garrett has a very delicate system.
I do. It's not even. That's like 100% true. On Z's testimonial, which you'd be surprised that I actually had to listen to Z. But I heard him talking about this, and I was like, well, you know what? He's not trying to. It's not like he's trying to pitch it to me. But he said, this doesn't give you jitters. It doesn't give you. It doesn't even give you like that breakout energy. It gives you clarity. And for once in his life, Z was 100% right. Okay, this stuff is awesome. Okay,
So it's the
I have brain fog.
Yeah, oh, dude.
All the time. Okay, we work different shifts. We work odd shifts. Like the job drains your brain differently than other jobs that I've had before. Okay, and he knows. Okay, it lifts that. You have clarity. You can focus better. It is upgrade is awesome. Visit their site. Order their stuff. It's the shit. I mean, there's no other. I've never had any supplement type thing like that where I've been like, oh, okay, yeah, let's get on this.
So
I'm glad they're a sponsor.
By the time they're seeing this, we'll probably already have talked about this a couple times on Wrestle Fandom,
and we'll probably have the graphics up on Wrestle Fandom.
It's the Freeman formula. It's in the size of like a 5-hour energy drink. It's called Upgrade.
Yeah, see how it is in my hand.
So like with me, like Garrett was talking.
You want one, Scott? Yeah. I'll go get you one.
Typically, I work from 11 o'clock at night till 7 o'clock in the morning, and I get mandated for overtime. So a lot of times it's 16-hour shifts, working from 11 o'clock at night till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I get sleep when I can get sleep. I'm constantly either tired, catching naps, and everything.
Upgrade.
This stuff is absolutely amazing. And like for the last week, I've been using it, and like Garrett said, it lifts the brain fog. I got the graphic here in front of me, so I can at least read it off what it does. The combat stress. It has adaptogen herbs, whatever that is, fights against brain fog 100%, helps retain new information. Like, if you were part of the group text that me and Garrett have going and the single text that we have going, there's a lot to retain. And it definitely helps, and especially someone with ADHD like myself. It's just another coping mechanism that's been helping.
Yeah.
And
not so like running around this morning, I didn't even get to like have like coffee or anything, and I'm glad I took this. But also, I've taken this after having 2 coffees and still did not reach like that. I've had too much coffee. I've had too much going on.
Absolutely.
It's great. So yeah, I mean, just this as our first,
little spot.
Our first spot, you'll be, we're going in on it a little deeper before we get into this. But yeah, Scott, I mean, you'll see. I don't know if you.
Hey, it tastes good.
It does. It tastes good.
It's in your tummy,
I like how it's kind of a clear formula when you look at it. It's not packed full of a bunch of garbage and artificial colors.
The wild cherry.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Yeah, but I haven't tried the protein. Okay, and this is because it's I deal in 100% truth. I don't take proteins. I don't exercise enough. I don't, and even when I do, I have a problem. I haven't even looked in the makeup of it, but it's like I'm going to assume it's whey, right? I haven't exactly, but like I can't like take it. I get like it makes me a little wheezy. I have no idea, and then I'm not going to take soy protein because like you don't want to do that. Right. So I just don't take protein.
Well, I'm going
to give that
naturally buff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna give that to one of my friends who is a huge workout dude. Dude's got massive arms, and he's gonna be on that. And then I'm gonna tape his testimony and we'll put it right on the show. Like it's gonna be great.
When we do Wrestle Fandom after this, I'm going to take it on Wrestle Fandom.
There you go.
And I'm gonna use this sponsorship as an opportunity to get my fat ass back in shape. And,
I mean, I'm definitely trying to get in shape already. I decided I wanted to get buff. And Scott knows this.
your shape is absolute perfection.
Scott knows this. The greatest shape my dad was ever in was he was like 43, 44. He was an unstoppable beast, right. And I'm approaching that age. So, I've got a few years. I got about 5 years.
You didn't pass that?
No, shut up. Oh. He's older than me, so be careful with the age jokes, okay?
Well, it's 40s this year.
You know, well, for you. I'll be 30.
November.
I'll be 39 in October.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be 39 in October. But
Scotty's a robber.
I've got 4 or 5 years. So,
all right. So
now that we're done with that Freeman formula upgrade, I'm telling you guys, upgrade.
So let's
upgrade yourself.
Let's
start saying that all the time.
Let's kick this off.
Okay.
Grown-ups versus Grown-ups 2. It's Grown-ups.
It's Grown-ups.
Like,
right?
There's just so much. I mean, it's just great that we're doing Adam Sandler movies because Adam Sandler in these movies and just the connection between all of them, Adam Sandler not only makes movies, but he has his own universe. Like it's an Adam Sandler
really does.
universe.
Yes.
It's an entire Adam Sandler universe. It goes back to things he did with other stuff, SNL. It goes back to his CDs that he made.
He's the king of the throwback.
Yeah,
honestly.
you know.
Like, he makes those... Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody listening or watching this who hasn't listened to those old CDs, you know, if you've formed an opinion on Adam Sandler and you've never gone back and listened to those CDs that he made and see the correlations of the movies and the characters and just the voices and all the stuff that he does, it's timeless. It's been going on for a long time. And if he makes a movie this year, like it's going to have something.
He just came out with
all sorts of elements from things.
He came
way
out with
back
that
then.
drama. I haven't watched it.
I haven't seen Hustle yet either.
And I'm sure.
Is it the last of his Netflix projects? Because it was a 6-project deal.
It got a lot of good reviews.
And he did. It was.
I'm sure
it was.
They're gonna re-up that. Like
it was ridiculous. 6, the do-over, the 100% fresh.
They've already announced do-over 2. Or no, what was the secret agent one?
Murder mystery.
Murder mystery 2. They've announced.
I didn't actually put it on here, and if you wanted to erase it with other stuff,
I wanted to replace Grown Ups 2 with Murder Mystery.
We could. It's still going to lose to Grown Ups.
Oh, absolutely, but
we could replace Jack and Jill if you want.
Yes.
Okay.
Do that.
Because I hate Jack and Jill.
Yeah,
but I also hate Down Here. I also hate Anger Management. So, and they're the only 2 movies. Yeah, they're the only 2 movies of his I don't like.
Yeah, me and Joe are gonna have to talk to you about that. I think
a
little bit, but go just kind of like recap. Like
okay,
there's just so much. There's so much involved in that whole like Sandler universe, and I kind of have some ideas of where this is gonna go with the ranking, but.
I have,
but they're all excellent in their own right. I guess that's what I'm kind of getting at.
So
so let's get into them. I mean, we talked about it on one of the last shows that we had was that Grown Ups is just way better than Grown Ups 2. So, there's just something about it.
Grown Ups it has a heart there because you could tell that cast. They genuinely, they've been friends forever.
Right.
And they have created a comedy movie, mind you, that is somewhat grounded in a little tiny bit of reality, as much as that they can have. And that story is something everyone can relate to. Having the guys you grew up with, you're not necessarily seeing them all the time. Everybody's kind of gone on their own ways, and then reuniting. And you have guys that are insecure about where they are in life, so they try to kind of amp it up a little bit. Like Kevin James' character in that tries to seems like he's successful.
Yeah.
You got the one friend who never settles down, who's forever stuck in that 21-year-old mentality. Mm-hmm. And we all have a weird friend that's into some weird stuff. In this movie, it's old chicks. You got the one friend, Chris Rock's character, who ends up being the stay-at-home dad while his wife's super successful. And then you got Adam Sandler being, this uber successful, yet humble.
Really trying to bring it, his character, throughout it seems to be trying to just bring it to that humble spot,
and
he understands that his life went bigger than
he
and
wanted
then he intended. So, but where I think the second one fell off was then just them immediately making it like, okay, everyone
they went straight comedy.
everyone moved back
Right.
after, where they should have just then had them do a different set of. You could have had a lot of the same things happen if it was their yearly vacation together.
Right,
they
absolutely.
all go on vacation together that same weekend every year. They do it all the time. They didn't have to have everyone relocate, because I think the only person who actually like still lived around there was it Lamensall was the only person who actually still lived around there. Kevin James,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And like everyone else like lived in other
No,
places.
he didn't. No,
you know,
because you remember rented in the first one. He rented the car, and
right? Yeah. So like no
none of
one
them
even lived in no one, and then all of a sudden in the
reason
second
they
one
came-
now everyone lives together,
right
in
they
the same
came out there
town.
for the funeral.
Yeah, except for what's his name's character.
You bring
Rob Schneider's character, because he wasn't in it because of the real life drama,
Right.
you bring up
which I think has
Lamensall.
been, you know,
You bring up Lamensall, and Garrett and I were talking before we came on air with everything. And if you go back to The Wedding Singer, and he's sitting with making the arrangements for the wedding,
Right.
and he tells the one lady, he's like, "I know you gave Lamensall a better deal."
he
You know,
uses
so
the same
this
names
character-
throughout the whole time.
He really
and it's and he
does.
and it, yeah,
He's- he
it's
is-
one of those
it-
things.
Joe's
where
right,
he
he's the
gets
king of
those
throwbacks.
connections.
Yeah.
Those, you know,
And,
but it's
like, I
also
love,
connections
like,
to those characters.
The
You know,
sports team throwback, like the college teams, like you see him with like Syracuse shirts on sometimes, and like he always has, like in I feel like every other movie, something with the Jets, like and
yeah,
Right.
the Colonel Sanders,
Yep.
Colonel Sanders, and Kentucky Fried Chicken references are throughout everything of tons of the movies. And I like to bring it back to this because even the dramatic movies, the movies that he's made that are more dramas, have these Easter eggs within them.
Oh, 100%.
So it's just something to enjoy when you're watching a movie, even if it's not one of your favorite Adam Sandler movies. You're gonna be able to catch your Easter eggs and fun stuff. Grown Ups. I love Grown Ups personally.
Grown-Ups is one of
it
my
speaks, because everybody, like you said,
yes,
everybody has
dude.
that friend that's relatable to one of the characters in that.
100%.
You know, when you look at your group of friends and you get those connections, especially, 20 years out of high school and stuff, and coming back and looking back and going like, man, a lot of things have changed. Some of the things are the same, and the things that are the same, especially the humorous things, I think we all. I don't know. I enjoy capitalizing on that with my friends personally. So that movie speaks to me very, on a personal level.
And
one
it's
of the
in
things where
again, the first one is just much better.
And one of the things this thing hits on that I think is absolutely perfect, regardless of where you are in life, how much you've matured, like you have kids, you're married, you're working a business. When you get with your group of friends from high school or growing up, it's like a subconscious thing we all do, and we almost revert back to the roles.
How I Met Your Mother. It's Revertigo.
Yes.
Revertigo.
It's Revertigo.
Yes, it's a Revertigo.
And and they nail it in this. And where the second one, it seemed to me that the studio's like, we want more money,
It felt cash grabby,
and like it didn't
which
seem like,
hurts to say about something that Adam Sandler made, about feeling cash grabby. You know what I mean? Like when you look at the Netflix movies that are on here, like that doesn't seem like that's a fleshed out project. That's, you know what I mean? Like that might be like I've had these ideas in the background.
Right.
They might not be great, but since I'm signed on to Netflix, I can do these Netflix studio style
and
movies.
that's the
You know
thing
what I
too,
mean?
the Netflix studio movies. Some people lay shit on some of them or whatever, but
I haven't watched a bad one yet. Like I don't think Ridiculous 6 was bad, but I was shocked by how much I liked the Do Over. I was like,
and Murder Mystery too. Dude.
Murder Mystery was good.
Like
and we're gonna get to we'll get to all of them.
All right.
But for right now though,
Grown Ups.
it's Grown Ups, right?
It's Grown Ups. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I think the sequel wasn't bad, but it didn't chalk up.
It didn't. It just didn't. So now we're gonna do 50 First Dates
First Click.
versus Click. Now again, this is one of those. I feel it's like, all right,
I mean,
it's 50 First Dates.
It's 50 First
But I want to give Click its due because I actually rewatched this like 2 weeks ago at work.
See, I've watched it a couple times, and I'm just not super huge on it.
So I didn't like it really all that much. Like when I first watched it years ago, in rewatching it a couple weeks ago, I don't know if I was just in a bad mood when I originally watched it, but it tracked so much better, like rewatching it. I don't know if it's time, age, whatever. And maybe like when it came out, early 2000s?
Yeah, early to mid, I think, maybe.
So now say I'm 15 years
maybe
later
midish.
now. I'm like, do you know what I would give to have a remote control to mute the world so I could sit down and get an hour to myself? You know what I mean? And then like,
I could not have that remote control.
Kate Beckinsale is just absolutely a smoke show.
Yeah, if there's a delete button on that, I mean,
like,
so many things would be gone.
Christopher Walken.
Well, he's Christopher Walken.
He's great. Yeah.
And like this movie, I want to give more credit than I probably would have done 3 weeks ago. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it way more rewatching it, and this is a TV cut of it too.
That didn't happen with me the second time I watched it.
See, I think
I felt the exact same way.
I think he put a lot on the table for this movie, though. I mean, it's got the over the top comedy.
Oh yeah.
It's got the cool effects and the kind of hilarious physical stuff you kind of like to see in the movies, where he pauses it and he smacks the guy and then he plays it and the guy's just like, oh, my face,
Yeah.
and just funny stuff like that. But it also
he farts in David Hasselhoff's mouth.
Yes.
That's
so
great.
There's some really great scenes in the movie, and but at the same time, they throw a lot at you in this movie too, because there's an emotional end to this movie.
There's a very, very
Adam Sandler does really well.
The whole third act is emotion. The whole third act is supposed to pull on your heartstrings.
Me, like how much it like tugs at the heartstrings.
Yeah.
Like you could tell this dude was like, and like he realizes because like some Adam Sandler movies really don't have a message they're trying to convey, and like this movie's really trying to tell you enjoy your
like
family.
Billy Madison.
Like you don't like life isn't all about just working and making money. Like life is about who you spend it with.
Right.
Yeah.
And he essentially spent his life with nobody because he was so worried about it. And like that message, I feel like is truly a message we all can relate to, especially when working full time. Like between like doing this and working full time, and like having my kids on my days off and stuff, and overtime, and then you get the kids' sports and everything else. Like it can be very, very hard to try to fit everything in. And like I just said a couple minutes ago, having that remote would be great. But at the end of the day, whenever he's actually like fast forwarding, he's like a robot zombie.
Yeah.
So
he's missing out on those moments.
Those little moments.
We forget that you're gonna miss out on the things that you're gonna cherish, even when you think that was wasted time,
right.
like or time that you wanted to pass up, a time at work or whatever. You still have those good moments and 100%. Connections, and it's yeah, you can't rush it by. That's I think that's the theme of that movie. But again, Adam Sandler puts a lot of emotion in different movies. Even the funniest movies he makes, he has these little points of emotion. Right. This movie, it gets deep. Like you said, the whole third act of it is kind of deep.
The whole third act.
So it's like if you come in there just wanting,
right?
Yeah, if you're just going in there for that just straight gut laughter Adam Sandler movie, it might not deliver that to you exactly the way that you expected it to do. But it's a good movie and it's right. But pairing it up with 50 First Dates, I mean, we got Drew Barrymore here.
It's the unstoppable combo of Drew Barrymore.
Right, yes. Their chemistry is just freaking level, man.
And then you put the whole thing in there where like, okay, it starts off and he's like this player type character to where like he's less playerish and more just like aloof just because of his lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then he meets somebody who he's just so immediately head over heels for that he doesn't care that she literally can't remember anything past one day.
And what I love about it too is like that first time where like she comes back in that second day, and he's like, all right. Like, and then she's like, and her reaction is completely different because she doesn't remember. And he's like, what the hell is wrong with this lady? Like,
right.
And he's like, I don't get it. And I actually saw a commercial, I think it was, for something not too long ago where they did this, and it's like they're super older now. They got like
they like did the 5-minute reunion of this. Yeah,
yes.
they played their characters for this.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't even seen that.
Yeah, it's like a little like video. I don't know. I think it came out like around like when COVID hit because everyone was doing and you can thank Sean Astin for this, for launching the Goonies like online reunion, because that was the first thing that literally started all these other reunions that you have ever seen. You can thank Sean Astin, okay? Like, you know what I mean? He didn't just save the Goondocks, okay? He saved the internet.
It was
okay.
on the Drew Barrymore show. They did a little like skit
Right.
for it. That's
And yeah, so then they did it like right around that. So, but I mean, it's just again, that's another movie where it's like funny, but it's a more endearing funny throughout.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like
funny.
Sean Astin's character in that.
Oh
is
yeah, so
funny.
funny.
He's
Like,
hilarious.
he is probably one of the most underrated actors.
He's got to be one of the most.
He's
Yeah,
awesome.
He does so much, and like the man like metamorphs his body. Like you could tell when he's like, "Yep, next couple of years I'm gonna be taking dad roles on because I'm just going to be a big sloppy man." And then when he wants to work out and gets jacked, you get the 51st dates. Sean Astin, you know what I mean? Like
he's great.
yeah, it's absolutely
He's great.
fantastic.
But we are going 51st dates.
I mean,
is
yeah,
that?
I mean,
okay.
absolutely, it's a great movie.
All right.
And the side characters in that movie are great too. Like all the characters, and again, you get another connection in there when they go to when they meet Tom.
Yep.
10-second time.
10-second Tom,
10-second Tom, yeah.
and the guy who's introducing him walking through the building, Dan Aykroyd, his character is the same character as a used car salesman in Tommy Boy. It's the same character. He even references the plant, and he says back in I forget what city that was.
Sandusky.
Sandusky, yeah. He basically Sandusky.
So now we have The Longest Yard remake, and I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Now, so The Longest Yard remake.
I feel like this is actually a good matchup.
It is a pretty good
But-
matchup, but
The Longest Yard remake is good. It works. Like it's funny. It does everything that's supposed to do. Recap, like bringing Burt Reynolds back in the was it Paul Newman character role?
Yeah.
That
He then becomes the older character. Yeah.
like was and it has its funny moments. It has its callbacks to the other Adam
Everything.
Sandler movies. But I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry is such an off the wall idea, and I believe this has been the only one that just stars Adam Sandler and Kevin James, right?
In the lead roles, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
They're
Yeah.
was there another one?
I
In
think
the
so.
lead
I
roles,
think
think you're
this
right.
is the only one. It's just the
It's just the two of
just
them.
the two of them, and touching on
Yeah.
something that was back, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, way more taboo. Like and like thinking about that, like me and Matt always bust balls and say like would be me and him if anything like happened to Matt's wife.
Oh yeah, you guys would definitely have to.
'cause-
Yeah, Scott and I would be the ones getting married.
But
I mean, it's just
it's something that.
I need someone who's going to clean the house good.
But I absolutely love I pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Like it's
See,
such-
for me, I'd actually go the other way. Like I would if I'm gonna, because I like both of these movies. I would say like I probably laughed equally amount, but if I was to put one on, I have to go to like which one am I gonna rewatch first? It would be The Longest Yard.
And I got to throw it in with the Longest Yard too, just because of quotability. I mean, everybody is quoting things from The Longest Yard. I mean, when he's hiding the cheeseburgers, and I mean, Terry
Yeah.
Crews is hilarious.
It ain't easy.
There's
And
great.
how
I mean,
many
Chris
wrestlers
Rock's
are
in there.
The Longest Yard.
Oh, dude,
You got
there's
Stone
for
Cold, you got
wrestlers,
Kevin Nash,
football
Great
players.
Great Khali, like
Dude, there's so many people, and Nelly's in that movie. Nelly was actually really good in that movie.
well,
You know what I mean? Like, I
Nelly
mean,
was actually a football prospect and a baseball prospect leaving high school, going into college. But
yeah,
he forego college and was selling drugs instead, and then
Right.
his rap career took off.
right.
But like Nelly is like this crazy athlete. One of the other reasons I will go Chuck and Larry over Longest Yard is like they kill Chris Rock. they literally they blew up Chris Rock in a prison cell. Like how are you gonna go for a movie that kills Chris Rock? I'm just saying. I mean, if that's how you feel, man, like
I mean, Listen,
mean, if you're hashtag Will Smith here,
if Chris Rock doesn't mind,
I'm definitely team Chris Rock.
If Chris Rock doesn't mind getting slapped to sell a good movie, I mean,
Yeah.
is it too soon?
I don't know. Today's news cycle, I don't think anything's too soon.
Yeah, right?
No, it was an important part of the story, but yeah, nobody wants Chris Rock to die in a movie, so I
like
feel the
Garrett
same
does.
way.
No, but
It looks like Garrett.
It looks to be.
but there's just the overall
Overall,
I'm longest yard on this one.
So, Scotty, it looks like it's on you, bro.
My vote's longest yard.
Oh, we have.
Longest yard.
Okay, we're getting there, guys.
All right, then we have That's My Boy. That's My Boy versus Pixels.
That's my boy, 100%. You put Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg in anything, and put them as father and son. You this
Premise for this movie alone.
I don't get like some people are like, oh, I haven't even seen it. Like,
Okay.
how do you?
So
Vanilla
let's
Ice
just
in this?
yeah.
Like, come on.
Okay, let's just give Pixels. Okay, Pixels is a better movie than a lot of people said it was. Okay,
Okay.
it's the idea is cool. Like they take the whole okay, our info went out, aliens picked up certain things, and this is how they're going to communicate with us.
And they made
they
video game
we have to
characters.
fight them in real life video game styles, and like Adam Sandler and all in either his friends or his old enemies have to take them on. It's a very cool movie. There's lots of funny parts. Peter Dinklage is utterly hilarious. Peter Dinklage might be the funniest person in this movie, which is funny because I love when there's either comedians or funny actors, and then there's just a other actor who was actually then the funniest person, like in Wild Hogs and William H. Macy. William H. Macy was the funniest character.
Oh, 100.
Yeah.
In Wild Hogs, hands down, and the rest have all done comedy or are comedians. Pixels is cut right along the same lines.
Pixels
It's a
is
good
okay.
movie. Okay,
Like-
it's a good movie, but it is not. That's My Boy. And if people, everyone's like, oh, it's terrible. It's and I watched and I sat down and I watched it, and not only was I not like that, I think that they were wrong. They were extremely wrong.
Extremely wrong.
The every setup for everything in this movie is hilarious. It's awesome. Hilarious. He's 13 he's what, 13 when he hooks up with his teacher.
Yeah.
So he's only 13 years older than than his own son. His son has a stretched out New Kids on the Block tattoo on his back, because he let him get it when he was 8. And then he doesn't realize that Uncle Van was literally Vanilla Ice.
That quote Vanilla Ice makes in the movie too, when he's just he's like, they sued me for this. He's like, between Queen and Suge, he's like, I actually have to pay money when they play that song.
yeah, just what I mean. Like you take.
And he named his kid Han Solo.
Yeah, Han
Solo Burger.
Han Solo Burger.
There's so much gold.
It's so
just everything about and because I hear a lot of people complain that a lot of the Adam Sandler characters seem similar, like the way they talk, but he'll tweak them, all to a degree.
But they are similar. They're loosely based off of things. I mean, even Donnie is loosely based off of the character he does in the CDs, where he's on the boat and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "How about a little reverse action?"
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's that character that he finally got a spot to take that character and give him some shine.
And this is actually one of it's funny. Most of Adam Sandler's movies stay in that PG-13.
No, this was dirty.
This one was R.
This was
I liked it. I liked
dirty movie,
Adam Sandler.
and it was awesome.
It was great.
It because it wouldn't have worked at PG-13. It would have been terrible. Right. It would have been what people said it was.
I like how Adam Sandler has the ability to make something almost right to that point of raunchy, but to the point to where it still has a level of taste somehow and just makes you laugh.
Like you could show
it
your
never,
kids.
yeah, it never brings you to that spot where you're like, no, I'm uncomfortable watching it. That was hilarious. That was the most absurd thing, but it was hilarious.
This is the only one that does cross that line, though. You can't show this to them till they're older. This movie is, especially the end. The wedding scene, especially.
Yeah.
What? Andy Samberg he's so great.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going longest yard.
That's my boy.
And that's my boy. L-Y. And that's my boy. All right.
So then we get Ridiculous 6 versus The Do-Over. Two Netflix.
Two of the Netflix movies. Now, I think Ridiculous 6 was like the first of the Netflix movies. And then I think Do-Over might have been the second one. I'm not 100%. Either the Do-Over or the week of. Or, then it was the other way.
It was.
The Ridiculous 6 is funny. It's a, it's slightly spoofish off of.
It was Ridiculous 6 and then the Do-Over.
Okay. Slightly spoof-ish off of, The Magnificent Seven, obviously.
I think it was not just slightly. I think it was completely for the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, but, but then, so for anyone who doesn't know, the entire premise is that all of these guys who are all completely different nationalities are all half brothers.
Yes.
Right. So, and then they're trying to find their father, who's played by Nick Nolte, which is also great. So if you look up the cast for this movie, read it off. Read it off.
Adam Sandler as Tommy White Knife Dunson Stockburn. You got Terry Crews as Chico Stockburn. You have Jorge Garcia as Herm Stockburn. Taylor Lautner as Little Pete Stockburn. Rob Schneider as Ramon Lopez Stockburn. Luke Wilson as Danny Stockburn. And Nick Nolte as Frank Stockburn. So you essentially have Adam Sandler, Terry Crews, Jorge Garcia, Taylor Lautner, Rob Schneider, and Luke Wilson all as brothers.
As half brothers.
Okay.
It's so great.
It's funny.
It's funny. It's literally ridiculous. They couldn't have picked a better title for it because the Ridiculous 6 it's the perfect title because it's ridiculous.
Right.
However, the Do-Over is of all of the Netflix things that have come out, other than the special, than the stand-up.
Great.
The Do-Over is literally felt like one of the 90s.
Yes, I agree.
Adam Sandler movies. If it had come out then, it is that caliber high.
Oh, 100%.
There's plot twists. It's funny. It's utterly hilarious. There's plot twists you don't see coming. Ones that are serious. It's so good. I was shocked. It not only is it the best of his Netflix movies, it's one of the best Netflix movies that's ever come out. Period. And Netflix has come out with some good movies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was that one with Chris Thomas with the Extraction? That movie was phenomenal.
That was a good action movie, yeah.
It's just I'm trying not to get too into it and just say
David Spade
grand things about it without.
He always wins when he's with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
David Spade, he's had a lot of misses when he's either on his own or he's in something else. But the two of them, you can see they are genuinely having so much fun when they work together that it just elevates David Spade.
They go back so far too, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Even before SNL and stuff, I think they knew each other.
Yeah.
And it just it shows so much in this. And as good as an ensemble, a movie you could just throw on when you don't want to think about Ridiculous Sixes, The Do-Over is by far.
Yeah. I mean, Catherine Hahn actually plays Adam Sandler's wife in this. Yeah. She's so good. I think she's, quite possibly the most underrated actress in Hollywood.
Oh,
If we were to
people are
do
starting to take notice.
if we were to do like underrated that's actually one of the next lists I'll do is underrated actresses and actors, and if she won, as far as being underrated, it wouldn't surprise me. She's so good. But just everyone in it. For me, it's the do-over.
100%.
You know,
I can't even argue with that.
Do-over.
It's just so good. What's next?
We got Hubie Halloween and Airheads.
Okay, so listen, Hubie Halloween is funny. Okay,
I love Hubie Halloween.
I say I didn't. So I watched it yesterday. Okay, because I hadn't seen it yet. There was 2 movies I had to watch before we did this, and I watched them in the past 2 days. I watched Murder Mystery, and I watched Hubie Halloween.
Right.
It's funny. It gets way better at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. But while not necessarily just an Adam Sandler movie, he's one of the 3 main characters. He's on the cover of the thing. Most of the one-liner funny things said are by him. Mm-hmm. You know, for me, I think it would still have to be Airheads.
Well, Airheads is one of the classic.
It is.
It's so.
From the 90s.
It's like cult classic.
Oh my god!
I mean, it's awesome.
So.
I mean, the cast alone.
If they did,
you got Brendan Fraser,
and
you got Adam Sandler.
And then everybody else.
Yeah.
Like,
if they did a like soft remake
I just want a sequel of Airheads.
Of this,
you could do that.
where like another band tries doing the same thing, and the Lone Rangers try and talk them down out of it as characters. You know what I mean? Like, how great would that be? Especially to see Steve Buscemi still in the long black hair and all that. You know what I mean? Like, have everyone just dressed up in all the same stuff.
I got a pitch. Here's the pitch. The Lone Rangers are sitting down at a podcast, because it's not radio stations anymore, right? So it'd be
a podcast
like this. And they're sitting down for their 30-year anniversary. They're going to do a tour for their 30-year anniversary. And a younger band breaks in, hijacks
actually
the
genius.
podcast. And so you got them like, what do you do? Well, we're doing what you guys did, because, you know,
can't
we
do
need
that.
to get a break. Like,
we already
can't do that. We already, and like literally picking on the
Steve
fact,
Buscemi. You can't do that, you unoriginal pricks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. And it's like, it's a soft reboot, but them being aware that
It's actually genius.
Right? Like,
I think if Adam Sandler heard that, he'd be down.
like that, like it'd be perfect. You know what I mean? And it's Airheads 100%. You can't even.
Before we roll past this, going back to Hubie,
what are you thinking about? Swimming pools? You know, like
Buscemi's character in Hubie. You know, if you think back, I mean, Billy Madison, when he calls the guy to tell him, "Hey, sorry," and he crosses his name off the list, but same character.
Yeah. Same
there's
guy.
a bunch of the same characters in this.
You could do that. I watched
it even
the
starts
thing where
off.
they connect all the dots.
Yeah.
Like
it even starts off with the same orderly.
Yeah.
From
Happy Madison.
from Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
Gilmore,
yeah, Ben Stiller's character.
Yeah.
So it's Airheads just because
I love it.
if only for the classic part of it alone.
But
you know
Airheads
what I
is
mean?
one of those movies I saw when I was super young.
Yeah.
I saw again when I was a teenager in my 20s. And like it hits every single time.
You know, it's not exactly an Adam Sandler movie, because this is still when, you know, he was just being cast in stuff without getting his own. But 100%. At the same time, like, you know, he's one of the 3 main characters. Right. So it's like, and because it's against Hubie Halloween, I don't feel bad putting it over. You know what I mean? As far as we're talking about Adam Sandler movies. So I would definitely go Airheads.
Next, we have Just Go With It with, I can't read that from here.
Blended.
They were both pretty good movies.
Me personally,
Just Go With It was a little over the top.
That's what I liked about it, though.
I think Blended, again, just having, what's her name? Drew Barrymore in it. You know, again, you reshuffle the cards and you end up.
Blended is my least favorite of the Drew Barrymore Adam Sandler trilogy. Like, it's my least favorite of them. It's good. It's a good movie. It's not Wedding Singer. It's not 51st Dates. So like, that's my mindset. Like they've set a bar for their movies together, and Blendon's just
Wedding Singer set such a high bar.
like
You
Wedding
needed to
Singer,
do 50
yeah.
First Dates. You needed to do something that endearing.
Right.
If they were going to do something, because like, holy crap, the Wedding Singer. Like,
Yeah, you were already soft to this relationship by the time you watched 50 First Dates. You
Right.
know what I mean? So it just made that even better.
Blendon
But
just wasn't
Blended didn't quite hit that mark for you the same way.
not like it's good. It's a great romantic comedy. It's just
yeah. I feel like it came out during this string of Adam Sandler movies, like it was like Jack and Jill and
we're not bringing up Jack and Jill ever again.
and just go with it and
Stop saying
Blended, and these movies that
saying it.
weren't like, you know, his normal caliber of things. You know what I mean?
Right, and I feel like Blended it was just. I won't even say subpar because it's not it's subpar for Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore movies, but it's a doable romantic comedy. It just wasn't anything that just was like, oh my god, this is fantastic. It was just
You know why?
yeah.
You know why Jack and Jill was so wrong.
Stop saying Jack and Jill.
You know why though? But you know why it was so wrong? Because it shouldn't have been his sister. It should have been his mother, baby.
Yeah.
You do it for mama.
That movie
Yeah.
was
It was supposed to be mama.
Yeah.
That movie just is.
It's just.
Eddie
Terrible.
Murphy did.
It was
so
that Jack and
wrong.
Jill's hands down easily his worst movie.
Oh my god. Oh.
It was where it was.
so-
I'm gonna
it
go
was his
just go
lowest
with
point.
it. Personally, my vote goes for just go with it.
I'm gonna go with just go with it. I you know what I mean. You get Nick Swartzen in there, who's hilarious, and you know you got what you're looking for.
So funny story. Have you guys ever heard the Adam Sandler song "Secret"?
We've heard every Adam Sandler
So,
song.
so are you aware of the Adam Sandler song "Secret"? It's kind of like a EDM beat.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got a secret. You know, and his secret is that he trims his bush.
Yeah.
Okay? And so years ago, my mom wanted me to burn her a CD for her vehicle. So she gave me her playlist. I downloaded the songs. And I put the song in jest on the CD because I thought it'd be hilarious. And my mom's like, what is this? Like, it kind of backfired on me.
She loves it.
My mom loves this song. My mom would be driving down the boulevard with all the windows down in her Jeep, fist bumping, I trim my bush. And then she's yelling.
I know his mom too, so it's a
Yelling.
lot.
She's like yelling, suck it in, fuck it in.
Well, I've
suck it
met
in,
his
fuck
mom,
it
I
in,
should
suck
say.
it in, fuck it in, suck it in, fuck it in. And I'm like, I'm sitting in the passenger seat mortified because this is completely fallen back on me. And to this day, my mom's like, remember that song about bushes that you put on my CD? And I'm like, yep. She's like, that song is just so fun and so catchy.
Oh yeah, you should show her at a medium pace. Okay. She thinks that's funny.
Yeah.
At a medium pace is just about the raunchiest song ever made.
So now we have anger management and murder mystery.
I mean, I'm murder mystery on this all day.
Anger management is
I can't stand it.
such like Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler trying to play the straight guy, and as somebody who might have a little bit of an anger problem himself, trying to curb it, and like Jack Nicholson's like ultimate plan with everything, like it just I love anger management. Like I sit there and watch
I
it.
think it's great. First off, putting Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler in a movie together
It's
for
just
me
brilliant.
is
Really.
incredible.
Yeah.
I know why you necessarily don't like it. Knowing you as a person, the character it hits too close, and you wouldn't even make it through the first scene of that.
No,
movie.
I would have killed everybody because because the thing is not until like recent years was I ever like really that angry of a person, but like someone would be like, you know, the few times, you know, few and far between when I did get angry, somebody would like, you know, attempt to call me out on it, and I'm like, you're a prick every day of your friggin' life. Like I can't be mad. What, you know what I mean? And like that's how it felt. So I think I related too close to the character, and everyone's like, why are you so mad? He's like, I'm not mad. And and I have had that happen to me
Right.
all the time.
but
I could not
but
take. I
that
couldn't
set
take
aside,
watching
the-
it.
So you're
the
Adam
fact that
Sandler in
he-
this movie. That's
I'm
why-
literally
that's why
Adam
I'm
Sandler, and I think that's why I hate this movie.
But the way
Don't
he's
get angry.
he's
Don't get
able to,
angry, Garrett.
the way the
I'll
movie
kill you.
brings that out of you, I think is a testament to how good the movie is.
Right.
He does that good of a job that you can't even like one of the funniest movies.
Yeah.
Because
And
it
you
invokes
tell
that
Jack
emotion.
Nicholson is having the time of his life.
Nicholson is hilarious.
Oh, do you know how often I use, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to piss Scott off, that I use the GIF of him going. I use it all the time. The smile, I use it
awesome.
all the time. You know, when someone's like, "Hey, should I do this?" and like to egg them on, that's the one I use. You know what I mean? But I still feel the same. Nothing is going to change how I feel about it.
It's the combo of Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, like that. She is his second to Drew Barrymore with a female co-star. She's not Drew, and I think part of it is because Jen Aniston is not the girl next door. Jen Aniston is Jen Aniston. She is a fine wine that just every year that she's going to be 90 and look better than most women on the planet. And it's not, she's not as endearing as Drew. And that's why, like, the movies that they do together aren't just as good to me. But, like, their chemistry is undeniable in it. And, like, the whole concept of murder mystery, like, is just, it's that outlandish concept that Sandler takes, and they only almost make it believable. And they're so, like, the everyman, like, oh my God, I just shot somebody. Like, you know, but I love anger management. If this was up against
the car chase scene,
yes,
like
like,
they go to get in the car, and then you remember that they're in Europe. So they get in, and she's behind the driver's seat, and she's just like, "Oh, I don't know how that happened," and then she drives the car. You know what I mean? Which was the way better choice, because then it's like him just egging her on,
Right.
you know, to do this and do that instead of the other way around.
With that being said, it's anger management for me.
Yeah, you know, it's anger management for me too, bud. You got Jack Nicholson. I think it deserves to go to the second round. I mean, we got Just Go with it. That's got Aniston in it too. So I mean, it's not like that Aniston and him didn't make it to the second round. So,
all right.
And you're right. It's just not there. Like Drew Barrymore and his connection, you want them to be together in real life,
right? Exactly.
Like it almost feels like
I
they
feel
are
they're
if their
secretly
universe would have
alone.
aligned in the right way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? For that to happen, but definitely on the screen, they're a married couple on the screen.
Oh, 100%. Now, like like you're a jerk, by the way, Garrett. Wedding Singer versus Grown Ups. Like this could have been the final two.
No, it's not. No, not even close.
I think
And
Wedding Singer is a hand down out of the park past Grown Ups. As much as I love Grown Ups, Wedding Singer is just to a whole nother level.
It's the.
I have one question. Do you really want to hurt me? Okay.
You want to fucking
everything. This movie balances the
it has
the romance, the hilarious,
rapper's delight.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
Is that a hip hop?
Yeah.
The cast.
Like
I mean,
it's great.
It's got every 80s reference. It's got a freaking DeLorean in it, okay?
Have you even been to a wedding in your life where they don't play Grow Old With You?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you really want to be named
Billy
Billy
Idol is in it looking exactly like he did in the 80s.
That's the greatest love song I've...
It is. It is.
Do you really want to be named Julia Gulia?
Yeah.
Like... it's Wedding Singer. Like it's just
when she's wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt and he's just like, take that off before the band breaks up.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, information that could have been more useful to me yesterday. You know, just everything. You know, everything. When he's singing the song, when John Lovitz is watching him.
Oh yeah.
Just God.
Oh, you love Sticks.
I listened to the Cure a lot when I was writing the song, you know, and then, but then we're gonna take it down to 50 First Date. This is gonna be rough. 50 First Dates versus Mr. Deets.
Okay. Wait. You better write.
I'll write it. Don't really. Yeah, well, I gotta stretch. I gotta stretch over there. I do two at once.
Mr. Deeds. Now that they're different. You know, you get this romantic
real
comedy.
different.
I guess there's a romantic comedy essence to that, but like him and Winona Ryder's
Have
like
no
connection
chemistry. Like, they
isn't
have
the
no
same.
chemistry.
So I'll definitely, but not looking at Mr. Deeds as a romantic comedy, which I don't really think it is. It's
No.
just a straight out comedy. I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, really, it's very sneaky.
Yeah, I was just about to say, John's character in that is just so great.
The
and then
frostbite
especially,
foot.
and then especially like when you're like watching it, where I feel like right up until that scene there, you don't think how it's going to end, how it ends.
No.
You know what I mean? You think, oh, no, he'll just get it back and he'll be his. No. It ends up being the butler's. You know what I mean? Everything goes in and he's like, and she just like names the date and he's like, that's my birthday. And I mean, I was watching it with my dad and we were both like, oh, what? Like, you know, like, yeah, I don't know where to go. Someone sell me. Someone sell me here. Like,
50 First Dates.
I really don't know where to go with these two
Mr.
movies.
Deeds is a good comedy, and
Because both of these are like go right into my second tier of Adam Sandler movies.
but I feel
Both of
like
these drop right. They're right there. You know.
everybody's chemistry in 50 First Dates, I feel like it works way more. You got Sean Austin, Dan Aykroyd, or not Dan Aykroyd. What the hell's
He's in it, but
right? Dan, the father. Who plays the father?
I can't think of his name, but the guy who played Farmer Fran.
Right.
Yeah.
And
He played
you know,
the
he's
dad.
excellent.
He played Sean's dad.
Sean's Dad and Boy Meets World, which
Yeah.
is one of the best shows ever. We can
Like,
get into that another
the
time.
chemistry in 50 First Dates, and it's a little bit of a smaller cast too, so like it's easier to care about the characters and everything. I care more about the characters and everything in 50 First Dates than I do with Mr. Deeds. Like Mr. Deeds, like it's funny and it's supposed to make me laugh. It does that. But if I'm going to sit down and I have the only two movies in the world I have to choose from are 50 First Dates or Mr. Deeds, 10 times out of 10, I'm picking 50 First Dates over Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, you know, I have to go, and I think I'm going to put my vote for 50 First Dates as well, because Mr. Deeds is a great movie. I think it deserves to go to the next round on that funny aspect and
Yes.
and an epic movie and quotability and what it does. But 50 First Dates has all that and then more, and it has that connection with Drew Barrymore.
Right.
And yeah, I'm gonna pick that one too.
Okay,
Well, this next round
So
for that
this
for
is
that
where-
bracket, that part of the bracket is going to be very interesting.
well, so with this next one, and I'm going to start it off with a controversial.
We don't have to.
No, it's good.
We don't have to discuss the next
I have a
two
very controversial
brackets.
statement to make right now. I don't like Billy Madison.
Oh, what?
Get out.
And I'm going to explain to you why.
There's a reason that the company's called
Happy Madison.
No, and you're 100%. And that's part of the reason why I don't like Billy Madison. Because if you take Happy Gilmore. So I saw these movies the first time I saw them in the same weekend. Okay?
Oh, really?
So I saw them at the same time. And if you
That's going
watch
to change
it-
your perspective.
If you watch Billy Madison and then watch Happy Gilmore, you were just like,
Why did I watch Billy Madison?
correct.
Yeah, I
And-
understand. I knew right where your brain was going to go.
I could see that with those
But
comparisons.
see,
but
I
the
saw Billy
longest-
Madison right when it came
Yeah.
out, and then I saw Happy Gilmore right when it came out,
And
which
just,
is
like,
probably why Happy Gilmore, and I'm just going to say it, is my favorite Adam Sandler movie. So if anyone is wondering where my vote is going to be going for a lot of these,
Happy Gilmore, I can watch on repeat, and I absolutely love it.
I've watched it 3 times in the past couple
I
weeks
can
because
watch-
it's on Netflix,
so-
and I will just put it on just to like doing something or
Just,
fall
like,
asleep.
The concept, like Billy Madison, I feel like it was almost there. Like there,
I don't
there
know.
are
I think
funny
it's
parts of it.
there and then some. I mean, you got Farley in this movie as the bus driver. You got this amazing, hilarious concept that this super, wealthy guy he's gonna go back and redo school from the beginning. And I know that there's some, not realistic nature to that.
Right.
But the movie itself, for the budget it had, for the time that he did it, this wasn't like a
Norm
I'm
Macdonald
Adam-
is in this.
This wasn't like I'm Adam Sandler and got $20 million to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had to put it out for this movie, and it's the quotability, the gibberish talk, just all the different
It's way
characters,
more quotable than
the
Long and Short.
O'Doyles, things that are basically this. We come back to this movie in almost every movie that he makes in some
absolutely.
one point, And
Hubie Halloween.
It's so classic to me.
Doyle. You know what I mean? Norm Macdonald is in this movie. You know, it's just
the
like
way the movie starts.
the first thing he says, it's like, "What day is it? October?" Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
suntan lotion.
Yeah.
I just
he
love
called the shit poop.
He called
You know,
the shit poop.
you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's I don't know. There's just so many.
It's Billy Madison.
I mean, especially up against Longest Yards. I think that we could have that conversation. I'll close other. Billy Madison for me to Longest Yard.
Like as a comedy, I would put Billy Madison over Longest Yard. I appreciate the things like what Billy Madison started. Like without Billy Madison, we don't have what we're talking about right now. Like I appreciate that and I understand it. It's just Billy Madison doesn't do it.
But the thing is, though, the way that you just explained to us how you both, I think we both even understand what you mean.
Right.
But we saw these. I think we even saw these movies together.
See, when I was a kid, listen, when I was a kid, my Uncle Jamie, he played Billy Madison for me. I was at my grandmother's house, and and family's eating and whatever, and I'm in the living room and I'm watching Billy Madison for the first time. And that first scene, like I had to pause it. With just him putting the suntan lotion on, like I was a younger kid and just watching it, and maybe it was the age frame in which I watched it too. I was able to just kind of like take all the humor and just go with it. And it's been quotability for that. So I guess I have that nostalgic connection too. That I'll reference as a difference in our perception.
It was on.
That's something we've talked about before. The nostalgia effect on some of these movies.
Yeah.
It was on at work the other day. Okay, and I was working with Mark Ray. Okay, guy I've known since like 7th grade.
Yeah.
And then the part where he's yelling the gibberish at dinner, and everything, like the part where yeah, and like the one guy like says bye to him, he's like telly hoo hoo. Like Mark went to leave that night, and he was like, all right, later, Garrett. I was like telly hoo hoo, and he laughed. You know what I mean? Because like you keep like these parts of this like funny nostalgia stuff with you. I mean, for me, these two, the Longest Yard is definitely Billy Madison.
The scene in The Office when they're like, we have a very important announcement. He's like, Eric's pregnant. Yeah. He runs over. He's like, oh, he's going to be a soccer player.
Yeah. It's just, it's so good.
Yeah,
and then
it's a great movie.
We're going to take it down.
Happy Gilmore.
It's Happy Gilmore.
It's
okay.
Happy Gilmore.
Like, so let's okay, now we gave That's My Boy It's Shine. It's time to talk about how great of a movie Happy Gilmore is, okay? Because a lot of times when I watch, and this is something that comes from being in a band with Scott, I go back and I watch the stuff that we do, so I learn how to make it better, faster. You know what I mean? Because we wouldn't have been able to play live shows, smack dab in the middle of metal shows, and have people go, "Oh my God, you guys have only been together 5 months." And be like, "Yeah, none of us are even musicians." You know what I mean? Like we just picked up instruments and started writing songs. So I definitely want to talk about movies right when they come up, so that we don't just gloss over it and it just wins. And people are like, yeah, but they barely even talked about it. Why did it win?
Right.
Happy Gilmore is one of the most perfect comedies
100%
ever created. Period. I mean, it is
movie alone.
the quotability
just in the hips.
Yeah.
Price is wrong, bitch.
The Bob Barker fight.
That's one of the best fights ever.
Yeah.
Okay. You hate Christopher McDonald's character, Shooter McGavin, one of the best villains in a movie,
absolutely,
ever. But this is the time where his influence and his style of movies like really started. Like when you started watching stuff and you were like, why do Adam Sandler movies the music why is the music is always perfect? And this is where it starts.
Absolutely.
Like the music is placed perfectly throughout the whole thing.
Could you trouble me with a big glass? Shut the hell up!
Yeah.
Like
just how great is just absolutely everyone in this movie?
There's a reason the company's not called Billy Gilmore.
Yeah,
and it's Happy Madison.
Yeah,
okay, because Happy is the superior film.
Scott hits a golf ball. like that.
I hit a golf ball like that before I seen that movie.
Yeah, he did
just-
though. The thing is though, I know for a fact that's true. You know what I mean? But that's how he hit. But that is
still
literally
do.
how.
Like,
I know. I've
we
seen
could
the
go-
video.
We could go driving range right now. You can watch me at least a 250 yarder. I'll crank.
Yeah,
for
he
you.
destroys him. You know, and
That's awesome.
and he's always hit. I can attest to that.
When you post this feed on your I'm gonna put a video of it up on the comments.
Yeah, do it so people can see.
But happy-
They can see the
so
truth.
Check in the comments. There's a happy Gilmore hit down there.
Yeah.
I feel like definitely the next round we will get more into.
Oh, this might get intense. This could absolutely be crazy. Okay.
So we're gonna have Happy Gilmore versus Billy Madison, and I think on the next.
I think that's.
It should be the last one we touch upon, if everybody's okay with that. Instead of going,
We can do it in whatever, but I feel like it's very appropriate, which is why
I think it is
I
appropriate.
just think
I think
sometimes I set
are
these up with just in cases.
This is matching well because you get the two Drew Barrymore movies, you get two of the OG Billy Madison
and then
movies.
let's be
You
honest.
you forgot a movie in here though, and I just want to quote it. I think it deserves like an honorable mention. Out to Sea is one of his first movies.
Yeah, but
before. it's the budget's crap, the quality's
The
okay,
budget's crap.
but with that budget, with the concept and what he had to work with, Out to Sea is one of those little classic movies. And if you like Adam Sandler, if you haven't seen Out to Sea, check it out. It's super low budget. It's one of the first movies he made. I don't think it's the first one, but it's one of the first ones.
It's the first one
yeah.
where he's the starring role.
right.
Yeah, and it's interesting.
It's his first movie.
It's
Like,
Adam
And I
Sandler
wanna say here, this
figuring
is
out
Adam
that
Sandler-
formula.
This is Adam Sandler comedies because
Yeah.
his drama stuff is on a completely different level.
Agreed.
And obviously, we don't have enough for Philip Brackett, but I want to give his drama its due because for somebody who's so funny and one of the Mount Rushmore of comedians, especially of our generation,
yeah.
the dude can act his ass off.
Yeah,
And
agree.
I haven't watched Hustle yet, but the Cobbler was not a good movie though. I just gotta say.
watch Hustle because it's good.
Yeah.
So I feel like the next two, we can just put them on and then talk about them when they're going against each other because it's obviously Big Daddy and Waterboy.
Big Daddy for me is
Big Daddy and Waterboy.
is
Big Daddy-
definitely over the do-over. Big Daddy just has so many levels.
And
Again,
as amazing as Airheads is, it's Waterboy. Right?
If only for like, if I was going to actually sit and watch one, I would probably, I would actually probably put Airheads on first. But you have to also think that this is also the Adam Sandler bracket,
Right.
and therefore I feel like, because it already beat like Hubie Halloween, like Waterboy is one of the funnier, one of the better Adam Sandler.
It's one of the corner. It's one of the cornerstones.
It's
cornerstone.
Adam Sandler
the top
movies.
5 Adam Sandler movie, which is going to, I think, be real prevalent when we get to the end here.
Just the Fonz is in it.
Yeah, he's awesome too.
And Big Daddy, I don't think I like Big Daddy as much as everyone else does.
I love
Big Daddy.
I remember
It's
it was
funny.
the summer between 8th
It's
grade and
Scooby
9th
Steve.
grade and going to the movie theater and
Hip hoppopotamus.
see
Hippopotamus?
like everything about that movie, like you got Jon Stewart in it, like and the
Hooters.
like
Yeah, everything he says to
everything about that movie, like
everything he says to Leslie Mann. Yeah, everything just literally just ribs her through the whole movie.
and Joey Lawrence Adams is wonderful in it. She plays a great, like she was almost like it's like they made Big Daddy and then they're like, all right, who is even more adorable in Girl Next Doorish that we can put in Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler? You know what I mean? Like, and that's how you got to Drew Barrymore, like,
Right.
Because honestly, if Drew Barrymore didn't do Wedding Singer, they probably would have just got Joey Lawrence Adams to play in Wedding Singer,
Right.
and because very similar kind of actresses, like very pretty but very Girl Next Doorish, and it just Big Daddy, everything like.
So you guys are both Big Daddy, right?
Big Daddy.
Right.
That's what we
no
actually
matter
call
what
each
I
other
in my
by
yeah.
ourselves.
Big Daddy.
So, And so that brings us to
The Zohan.
Dude.
It's the Zohan.
I had no expectations for
Neither did I, and I friggin' love this movie,
I thought I
okay?
was gonna hate the movie from the
The
trailer.
Zohan.
100%. I thought I was like, because like you got to think too. This was towards the end of that streak of movies that were just like, okay, and then Zohan came out, and I'm like, all right, and I start watching it. I'm like, oh shit, Adam Sandler's doing some good comedy action, and then now he's a hairdresser, and he's a damn good hairdresser.
But he's also a killing machine.
Right, like,
Dude, it's hilarious.
Dude,
It's so good.
don't mess with the Zohan.
He just wants to make the world silky smooth.
It's
Dude,
amazing.
the Zohan is so underrated. It might be the most underrated of his movies.
I have to.
It's so
I
good.
probably
It was
agree with that.
if you were to take his two most underrated comedies, it's That's My Boy and Zohan.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you'd have
Yeah,
to
no.
argue which two were,
I think you'd have to argue those.
you know,
two, yeah.
like those
They're
two.
both great.
Like especially against Just Go With It. I'm sorry, it's Zohan. It's
Zohan
it's
was
over the
such
top.
an-
It's absolutely ridiculous, but yet it somehow works. You know,
like I think part of the reason
We go to disco.
that it's so good is I had no expectations for this movie whatsoever. Like Adam Sandler had kind of let me down in the few years prior to it, and then he's coming out with another ridiculous plot movie. I was like, this is gonna be whatever, and then I watched it, and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. Like it's
This is one that's not emotionally taxing at all.
no,
Like, there's no emotion,
It
like-
is just
Just
like turn your brain off funny.
Yeah.
It's just funny. You know what I mean?
and then we get to
Anger management versus Little Nicky.
the This is a movie that people either absolutely love or absolutely hate. And
Now, you want to hear something weird? At one point, I was both.
Yeah.
Because the first time I watched the movie, I did not like it, and then more Adam Sandler movies started coming out, and I think I started understanding more of the irreverent comedy stuff. So like after Zohan came out, I realized, and I got that comedy more. I realized how good Little Nicky was.
Right.
You know. So then I watched Little Nicky again, and I was like, okay, now I love
One
this
of my-
movie.
one
I was
of
like,
my
maybe
favorite-
because I was like, maybe I should watch Little Nicky again.
It's kind of like a
It has
hilarious.
Dan Marino
Isn't it
in
like
it,
a?
so I, you know.
Isn't
Yeah.
it like a hilarious Adam Sandler rendition of like Hellboy to a certain? level?
yeah.
If you think about
yeah.
it, you know what I mean. Like
The
his
one
own
scene
take
where
and plot.
he's like,
but-
"Tell
My
it's a
bro- my
bird,
brother
tell it's
can't-
a big bird.
Yeah. my brother Cassie hit me in the face with a shovel.
Like, oh my god,
You know, like, you know.
that was a really good. You do a very good Little Nicky.
Yeah, thank you.
Like,
Yeah.
I-
I'm good. You can ask him. I'm good at impressions.
dude, little Nicky is. I've made you and Blake watch Little Nicky, haven't I? The one where they're in they're in hell and he has to go back to.
and then what his two friends there play like the metalheads, the devil worshipping metalheads.
Yeah.
Like,
Tony's the son of Satan. Like, you know, like
I love Little Nicky.
You know-
first off, can we also say that like of all of his like friends too, like Peter Dante is just like
You
one
know-
of the unsung heroes of
I
a
know.
lot of those movies.
It's a shame. It's a shame it didn't make it on this board because Adam Sandler doesn't play in it, but it's clearly an Adam Sandler movie.
Right.
Grandma's
Boy.
and Grandma's Boy deserves an
Grandma's
honorable
Boy is gonna
mention.
end up. That's gonna end up in like it's in the either in the 2000. It's in the 2000s comedy.
Yeah.
There's like 10 of those lists. Trust me. I just did 2000s and 2010s comedies.
You're a
There's
good
like 7.
devil,
Because
man.
you get that character from Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
And he's
another
in That's My Boy at the wedding.
Yeah.
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 And he's just as hilarious.
So to make Garrett happy, I believe Little Nicky beats out Anger
I
Management.
think Little Nicky does. Yeah.
All right.
And this is pretty much.
And we
turned into-
agreed Zohan, right? We all went Zohan. I'm just making sure. My writing is terrible here.
Before we jump into this this round here, which is definitely getting
This is a
pretty
tight-
crazy.
This is gonna start
round.
getting intense.
It's gonna get intense. So before we jump into the intensity, I gotta tell you guys a funny story about Adam Sandler. So there's a movie on here. It's an Adam Sandler movie. It's not on the board here. It's Hotel Transylvania.
Yes.
And Hotel Transylvania he plays a Dracula character. And I'd never seen this movie. And I spent a lot of time as a kid listening to the CDs. And anybody who's listening to CDs knows who the GOAT is.
We spent hours
The
driving around
GOAT, the
listening to
GOAT
those
song, but
Hours.
so the GOAT is like one of those things. And as a kid, I used to go to school and I'd talk to my friends. I would spend all day doing the GOAT voice, you know.
Can you do it for us?
So one day I sat down and I'm watching this movie, Hotel Transylvania. Kids want me to watch it with them, so I'm watching it. And the voice that he does for Dracula is the voice of the GOAT.
It's the GOAT.
I
It's
watched
100% the GOAT voice.
I watched like 3/4 of the movie and then dinner was ready. So I pause it. And without kind of blinking at all, I look over at the kids and I'm like, "Hey, kids, can you guys go inside, go to the dinner table and eat some dinner?" And they're like, and 'cause I'm just like mocking this movie, like square out. And I was like, "What? What are you guys looking at?" You know? And it was just that they couldn't believe it. And and the funny thing is like talking to them now, and I still do the voice. Like I'll put them to bed. I'll be walking down the stairs. I'll be like, "All right, everybody go to sleep," you know, or I'll come up there, you know, I got that smack, you know. I'm just kidding, you know? But they don't know that the voice comes from the GOAT.
Yeah.
So the funny part,
Serenity might be old enough now for the GOAT.
maybe,
You know what I mean?
but I'm thinking, you know, I cannot see you. Come closer, you know,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
you know, you really whizzed that thing, you know, and I can't wait till someday the kids will listen to the GOAT and they're gonna draw that correlation that Dad didn't figure out how to do Dracula's voice.
Yeah.
Dad already knew how to do.
Yeah,
this
it
older
was
voice.
it was the GOAT. It's always been the GOAT.
So yeah.
That's a good.
So
That's a good comparison of the two. Another thing that
And
he
just
he
for the
brings
record,
back.
I didn't tell my kids how
All
to
the
come
way.
up with. I probably said something totally off the wall, hilarious in
Yeah.
that voice, but
Let's actually start back down where we just were.
Yeah,
So
that's
let's
what I
go
was gonna
Zohan versus Little Nicky.
Little
Where
Nicky.
where would you guys
It's
go?
Little Nicky for me. Like
You would go Little Nicky over Zohan.
as much as Zohan was unexpected for me and how hysterical it is, Little Nicky is just so absurd
Right.
and so well casted and done and acted and everything about it. It just, I watch it and I'm just either laughing out loud or giggling through the whole entire thing.
See, I actually think for this I might go Zohan, because if I'm gonna this brings, because then now these are down into my second tier Adam Sandler movies, and when I view things slightly equally, if I have to pick two, we always go with which one are you gonna put on first.
Yeah.
I think I'd put on Zohan first, man.
I would put on Little Nicky first.
I think I'd put on Zohan first, because again, it's the more turn your brain off, funny, like this is gonna be ridiculous, and you know.
You have to turn your brain on for Little Nicky?
No. No.
We're built different then.
Get in the flask.
You're a good devil, Dad. Like,
I don't know. See, this is where it starts to get hard because they're two great movies.
which
and I
one's
like
more
them.
quotable?
I mean, Zohan's pretty quotable too.
Little Nicky's actually more quotable.
Wait,
It's more quotable. You know, like
It
I
is
just
more
did.
quotable.
I just did more Little Nicky lines than I did Zohan. I just said Zohan the way he says it. You know, these Zohan.
I like Zohan. I like the action. I like the absurdity and the hilariousness.
but does it have?
But
boobs
when it
on
comes
somebody's
to that real
Dad,
Does
go with
Kevin
my dad.
Nealon have tits on his head?
the real quintessential like Adam Sandler character creation, I think Little Nicky wins.
Cool. That is, I am totally cool with that.
And then we have Big Daddy versus the Water Boy, and I'm kind of like, I need somebody to turn me one way or another.
They superimposed me.
I would go Waterboy on this one.
I'm gonna go Waterboy.
So you don't even have to worry about it. How about that?
Waterboy is just I
think I was
love
leaning towards
Bobby
Big Daddy.
Boucher.
Yeah.
He's just one of the greatest characters. It's just hilarious. Everybody in that movie, every scene in that movie,
Mr. Coach Klein.
Mr. Coach
Some
Klein.
high quality H2O.
Yeah.
All right.
So now,
All right. So
Wedding Singer versus 51st Dates.
showed me her boobies. I like them.
I like them too.
It's Wedding Singer, obviously.
It's Wedding Singer.
is the better.
It's Wedding Singer. It is the
Wedding Singer.
You can't get better than
I don't think
what,
I don't even think you have 50 First Dates to the level it was
right.
don't have
without
Wedding
the
Singer,
Wedding
absolutely.
Singer.
Right.
So
Because the
You
reason
would have
we
had-
care
yeah.
about them together.
it's almost a sequel without being the same story.
And you can, and you can always say that,
Yeah.
you can always even say that, like they did something else together and they upped the ante and it was better. You know what I mean? But but not in this case.
But Wedding
not in
Singer
this case. Wedding
delivers
Singer,
harder comedy too.
everything about it delivers better comedy. It's just better. It's set in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's set in
everything
the
about it. It's Wedding Singer, hands down.
and
Yeah.
So then
now-
let's get into it.
But like looking at it, like I feel like we don't
Happy Gilmore.
right, and we know where I'm going. So and you already said Happy Gilmore's your favorite Adam Sandler. movie.
Now let me tell you. Like I said, I have that nostalgic connection to Billy Madison.
You do.
I love those characters. I love everything about it. But Happy Gilmore is, I think, one of the most rewatchable movies in existence.
Absolutely.
It is hilarious. It is quotable. It is. I love everything about it. And Happy Gilmore, 100%.
He's like, I love everything about it, but Happy
The
Gilmore.
Final Four has ended the way I thought the Final Four. Was going to.
I'm surprised. There's a lot of movies, and Little Nicky is up there in the top 4. And
I'm surprised.
I
I'm
think
surprised
it's
by
earned
that.
its way there. I think it did. It was it was the underdog that made its way there.
This is
If other things were in other places, you would think, but the way everything gets placed everywhere
in no
else.
particular order, this, and then if you throw Big Daddy would round out my top 5. Like that would be my top 5 Adam Sandler movies.
Right.
So like this kind of. went
So
away.
the big question is, Waterboy or Little Nicky?
Waterboy for me.
I would be Little Nicky, but I know Garrett.
Oh, come on.
I love Little Nicky. Little Nicky
Over
is probably
these
my
two?
third favorite.
Waterboy for me is just, I don't know. It's just an epic movie. I don't know. I love it. I just love Waterboy. So for
Little
me, it's
Nicky for
Waterboy.
me is it's that it
I-
sparks my fantastical side. The character play, like you have so many like different ones. It's not being racist by stereotyping people from the South. So like I like that because it just stereotypes people from the deep, deep, deep South called hell. It's just the fantasticalness and just how utterly over the top and ridiculous the concept of it is, and it just fits, and it just works, and everything is out of control, awesome, and they're both super super quotable.
Yeah, but as far as these two go, though, I think it has to be Waterboy.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it by any stretch of the imagination.
Now,
This
this is the roughest of the two.
it's Wedding Singer for me. Wedding Singer is my favorite Adam Sandler movie. I feel like it is almost just about the perfect movie. Like, name me one thing wrong with The Wedding Singer.
There isn't anything wrong.
No, there isn't anything wrong
That
with
is the
Wedding
thing.
Singer at all.
Okay,
The comedy
but
is perfect.
my favorite Adam Sandler movie is also Happy Gilmore. So I'm
You're going Happy Gilmore.
I have to
Oh,
go Happy Gilmore because, like you said, Wedding Singer is Wedding Singer. I think is my second favorite Adam Sandler movie. So, yeah,
so
it is happy
let's,
for me. This has been the roughest of the two.
This is the roughest choice. Like I love both of these movies for their own right.
So I'm gonna
But
so
Happy Gilmore,
much.
I mean the Bob Barker fight,
So let's put a single camera on Scott as he has to decide between The Wedding Singer and Happy Gilmore. And no pressure at all, Scott. It just, it leads us to the final round. Garrett's favorite Adam Sandler movie versus my favorite Adam Sandler movie. And I know you have a little bit
They're
more
they're
loyalty
both
to
my
Garrett
they're
than me.
both my favorite. No loyalties set in there at all.
Garrett's a bitch.
The Wedding Singer is absolutely incredible. Happy Gilmore, quotable. The Wedding Singer has a great all-around story. You get the romantic kind of interest going on in there, and with that movie too.
Happy Gilmore, like, so Billy Madison started his like incline because but Happy Gilmore is what launched him
And Wedding Singer is what cemented him
as the like.
Yeah,
that is
like I think Joe makes a good point. They both do a similar thing for him, but Happy Gilmore,
it cemented him. But then he made Jack and Jill. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So, that is the biggest of Todd. It's Todd time.
Not yet. Todd,
not yet.
Another 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're doing Adam Sandler movies here, bro. We'll be done here in a minute.
That's a tough choice.
I know it's a tough choice, but
I kind of wish it wasn't between those two, but it's right that it is.
At some point,
they're both at that level.
some point, if it was on this side, it would have then been in the final. If Wedding Singer was on this side, it would have beat all these other ones and gone on.
Whoever's the jerk that seeds things makes us make difficult decisions.
But I have to say,
Garrett.
Happy Gilmore goes up.
Yes.
It has to, because.
Well, then we know who won.
Oh man, Wedding Singer is so
Happy Gilmore
good though.
does not outbeat.
Like I'm
what?
Happy Gilmore doesn't beat Waterboy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Happy Gilmore is.
No, Happy Gilmore does. That's what I'm trying to say. Happy Gilmore does beat Waterboy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I picked Happy Gilmore, but I'm not
happy with it.
I'm not. No, it's not that I'm not. Yeah, I'm not totally happy with it because Wedding Singer just.
It would have
movie
again. It would have come down to it at the end. If it was on the other side, you would have Happy Gilmore. Right now, instead of Waterboy versus Happy Gilmore, you would have had Wedding Singer versus Happy Gilmore. So it was either in the semifinals or the finals. No matter what, you were going to have it. If you look at the board.
Garrett's so happy right now that Happy won. Because Happy Gilmore beats Waterboy every single time.
It does.
It does.
So the quintessential,
is Happy Gilmore.
unstoppable, greatest Adam Sandler movie.
Todd,
what do you think? Does this board look right to you? Does this board?
It does. It's just, man, Happy Gilmore and the Waterboy. That's just such a. It's like neck and neck. I mean.
Yeah.
But you know what? The one thing with Happy Gilmore is you had Bob Barker doing all his stunts.
The Bob Barker fight.
And that might just put it just above.
You know, the Bob Barker fight scene is one of the best. I think one of the best fight scenes ever.
Ben Stiller as the orderly is probably one of the best villains in an Adam Sandler movie.
Oh yeah,
and just the setting.
His comedic bad guys are just good. White Goodman is probably the best comedy villain of all time.
Yeah.
Like
the scene when he jumps in the
dodgeball
batting cage and he's just taking the hits by the ball.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm getting ready for next year. And happy. You know what? I am happy with my decision.
Okay. All right, and that's all that matters.
Again, because if you look at it, if this was on this side, Wedding Singer would have beat Waterboy, right?
Absolutely.
Or anything else on this side.
Garrett, Garrett, you won. Stop throwing it.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make him feel better. I'm just trying to make him feel better.
You don't have. That's not your job.
I think Wedding Singer. I knew it was going to be between.
Trying to accommodate our
guest. Happy Gilmore. I just knew it was going to be between those two.
Scott's been on the show now twice, so he's no longer a guest. He's a special guest.
He's a reoccurring character.
He's a co-host.
Yes.
But yeah.
So Happy Gilmore wins. So before we sound off and kick up our WFR, Garrett, if I had the urge to get some ink injected into my skin in some kind of pattern, where would I go?
You would have to go see Josh at Rocking Horse Tattoo.
Absolutely.
And do I ask him to have his shirt on or off?
I think you just be lucky to just be there in his presence. Okay. But if you can get him to get his shirt off, then yeah.
He would like just take one arm for you out so you could get best of both worlds.
Ooh. Yeah.
See,
yeah.
Scott, that's why I like you.
You know, Josh would wear like a toga if you asked him.
Yeah.
Well, I might have to ask
him. Yeah, he'd probably do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a fun guy.
He aims to please.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun. And then
he's also a really sick bassist.
Yeah,
Just wanted to throw that
he's an ill bassist.
Dope.
Ill.
Is he a dopalope?
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
He knows how to slap the bars.
Yeah,
Clapping the bass.
yeah.
And if I need something printed on some sort of clothing or some vinyl work done, where should I?
Then you're gonna go see Fred at Seasonal Sports.
Oh, perfect. And
Absolutely.
I don't know if anybody saw the design for the first Movie Madness bit of swag, but it says Biff Tannen is a dick.
Yeah,
Because Biff Tannen is a dick.
because Biff Tannen is a dick.
Yes, Biff Tannen is a dick.
Yeah.
We're gonna. I think we just need to talk to Fred and just put that.
Oh, all we gotta do is talk to him. He'll make it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so-
he'll do it.
so
We just
if you want
we just
that-
need to get more sayings down, more things that we don't like.
Right.
You know, and then and he'll just make them.
Don't be
It's awesome.
Don't be a Biff.
yeah. Don't be a Biff. You know. Yeah.
And to our newest sponsor, the Freeman Formula.
Upgrade yourself. Yeah, Scott, we've been here about an hour and a half now. You know,
Feeling good, man.
right?
Yeah.
It
foggy?
clears.
Yeah.
It's like it clears everything out. Like it's really. I don't want to say. I've never taken anything like it. When I say weird, it's weird because I've never taken anything like it. That's just like, whoosh, like.
Yeah, I
What's up?
definitely needed that clarity to choose between The Wedding Singer and Happy Gilmore.
Ooh,
I almost needed to drink two of them. So.
Yeah.
Nice. I like
Yeah.
that. Good segue, Scott. All right, guys. So this is this week's Movie Madness. I don't even know what the hell date this is coming out on, but
It'll come out a couple weeks from when we're shooting it today. What's the actual date today? The 29th.
Yeah,
And so it's coming out on, I don't know. This is
8th, I think?
this is a mid-July episode, I think.
I think it's the
Somewhere.
first week in July. I think
I don't know.
July 1st. I think we're
We got to shoot some. We got
recorded up to. So I think this.
yeah,
will be
we got to
July
shoot some
8th.
more here.
But yeah, guys, we'll check you later. Scott, we'll definitely have you back, and
Yeah.
next time wear less clothing.
Yeah, I mean,
This
come on.
is your boy Joey Stones,
Show us something next time.
Garrett Plunkett, and Scotty, the Wash Burn Abs Wash. Later, guys.